Hi, ladies and they thems. Like, hi, ladies and they thems. Literally, hi. Okay. Who wants to eat dinner with me? Can I give you a dinner reveal? And, like, can you promise not to make fun of my dinner? Because it's kind of stupid. I'm embarrassed. Okay. I'm not embarrassed. This is my dinner. I'm going to own it. Okay. Guys, stop making fun of me. My dinner is 5 frozen fish sticks. It's a bit of a Kanye West South Park reference. I'm not a gay fish, so don't do too much. And pita chips, sea salt flavored pita chips. Okay. And then I have like the tiniest bowl of mashed potatoes ever. Mashed potato reveal. Okay. And then I have 0 sugar Powerade. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like kind of full. Like, I'm not very hungry. So, but we're gonna eat. I'm gonna eat, like, they're like the microwavable fish sticks that I'm eating. Reminds me a lot of my childhood. Lots of frozen dinners or frozen meals. Frozen chicken nuggets. Y'all, when I was younger, I had, this is like a mukbang. Oh my God, baby's first mukbang. Are you kidding? I also feel like I'm making one of those videos that's like, if you struggle with eating, feel free to eat with me. I hope that I'm making you more comfortable. But when I was younger, I was painfully, disgustingly, unhealthily obsessed with Yoo-Hoos, the chocolate beverage that is not chocolate milk, because those are not the same thing. But I was so obsessed with those. It was crazy. Like, you know, those things that are like super nostalgic for you and they just instantly bring you back to your childhood. That's one for me. So there was something I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. Oh, I literally have a list of it, I think. Hold on, guys. Everybody hold on. Relax. Be patient with me. Okay. I'm going to talk about working out a little bit. So I've been going to the gym let me see. Oh my God. Friday will be 2 months since I started going to the gym. Stop. Okay. So not that anyone cares, but I turned 19 on August 30th, 2025. So I turned 19 on a Saturday. And then Sunday was August 31st, but Monday was September 1st. And I know that, like, it sounds stupid, but like, I thought it would be perfect for me to like be 19 freshly. So I was a new age, new month, and new week. It starts on a Monday. That's the most perfect time to start, because I'm like, sorry, I had to burp. But I'm like, is that not the perfect time to start something new? Because, like, you know how sometimes, like, occasionally the new year will fall on a Monday, and it doesn't this year, I don't think. October, November, December, January 2026. Yeah, it falls on a Thursday. What a lame day for the new year to start. But it's like, I just love the whole like fresh, like blank slate moment. So I was like, it's perfect. I'm gonna get my life together. Okay. So I've gone to the gym every single weekday for the past 8. This is my 9th week. This is my 9th week of going to the gym every single Monday through Friday. Am I the GOAT, kind of? I feel like I'm the GOAT. And I'm really proud of myself, because there have been plenty of days where I'm tired. I'm sore. I so badly just want to go home and just sleep. Like, please. Like, I beg the universe to speed up time a little bit just so that I can come home and be in my bed. But despite it all, I persist and I continue to go to the gym, and I'm gone every day, and I'm so proud of myself. Somehow, and I think I talked about this in one of my first vlogs recently, somehow I still haven't lost weight, which is really weird. So it's weird. Starting, it was like my second or third, or maybe my third week, maybe, I went through a phase where I lost some weight, and that was because I lost my appetite a little bit. So it wasn't like I was purposefully like not eating or anything. It was like I just didn't want to eat that much. So I was like just nibbling, and I was making sure to like eat like a snack, like a protein bar or something before the gym, so that I would have at least a little bit of energy. But I lost some weight, and I think that the weight that I lost at that point was water weight just kind of falling off of me, because that'll happen like fast. Like if you like intermittent fast or something, because I've done that before and also used to have an eating disorder, so I fully understand all of these little tips and tricks to lose weight fast. I've done a salt flush, and if you don't know what that is, don't even look it up, but just know that I've done one of those multiple times. But anyway, not the point. So yeah, what was I even saying? Hello? Like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I went through a little phase where some water weight fell off, and it was like, it seemed like I was losing like a pound a day, but that's like not real, which is something I've had to convince myself, or not convince myself, but like remind myself that it's not healthy to lose a pound a day unless you're like in bed sick and throwing up all the time and not eating or something. That would make sense, but anything other than that gives eating disorder, and I know exactly what that looks like, don't worry. But so I like lost that little bit of weight, and now it's like back, but not really. So I started on September 1st when I first started going to the gym. I was 202 pounds. Trigger warning, talking about weight. I don't know. I've been talking about food this whole time, so I don't really care. If you have an eating disorder and you don't want to hear me talk about my weight or food or anything like that, you probably have already clicked off by now. Cool. So I was 202 pounds. And for reference, I'm 5'6", so I'm not skinny, never have been. To give you a little bit more insight, I think I mentioned this in my other video too. I wear a 38 double D bra, okay? My girls have always been big, so I wear like I can wear a large in a shirt. Sometimes it depends, obviously, but typically I go for large to extra large. And then for pants, pant sizes are so strange. Like, I would say that the typical size that, like, really comfortably fits me for pants in terms of, like, the even number sizes, like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, I'm probably, like, a 14. 16 would be, like, a little roomy. Like, that would be almost a little bit too big to the point where I would have to wear a belt for a pair of, like, 16 jeans. But 14 fits me pretty well. And, like, a 12 I could squeeze into if I really, really had to. And that's like on a good day. Anything other than that, too small. So I'm like a 12 to a 16. Really, I would just say more of like a 14, 16. And I know, like, well, I know my measurements. My waist is like a 36. And that's like, it would be like a men's pant, like a pair of like men's pants. Because they do it by like waist. And, like, I think they do hip to floor for the length. So yeah, so I would wear like a 36, I don't know how long my legs are, I don't know, or I do have a thing of my measurements. Granted, this was, so a lot of these I'm sure have changed because this was from almost 2 years ago. I was much skinnier at this point, but most of the measurements are the same. My bust at the time was 41, my shoulder measurements were 16. My waist at this point was 35.5, but I was a lot skinnier. So now I just kind of say like 36 to keep it like safe. Hips were 42. Inseam was 30. Okay. My waist to floor is 41. My hip to floor is 38. So do men's pants do hip to floor? I think they would do hip to floor because it's like where your pants would lay or would like sit. So if I were to wear a pair of like men's pants, I would have to do a 36, 38. I think that's how they do it. Anyway, nape of neck is 57 and hollow to floor is also 57. Cool. So that's my measurements if anyone cares. If anyone wants to like hand sew me like a dress or something, there's my measurements, okay? But anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh, I think I was just giving like a reference of like what my body size is. What? I don't know why anyone would need to know that. I don't know why I'm saying any of this. But anyway, I'm still teetering around the 196, 197 little weight range or whatever. So I haven't been able to get to like 195. So I don't know what's going on. It's like it goes up and down, it fluctuates. Because at one point, when that water weight was falling off of me, I think I got down to 193 at the lowest for like a day or two. And then all of a sudden I start eating normally again. And I'm back to like 197. This morning when I weighed, I was 197.6. I'm like, at this point, that's 198. Like, come on. So I don't know. Like, everybody always tells me that, oh, muscle weighs more than fat. And it's like, okay, cool. But why can't I lose any of the fat? Because I do cardio. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't think that the reason that I'm like trying to debunk every time people say that. Because that's what, every time I'm like, oh, why am I not losing weight? I go to the gym 5 days a week, which is a lot. Can I be real? Like, that's a lot. Because most people go on average like 2 to 3 times a week. I'm like, bitch, I'm in there for 5 days, whatever. The reason I don't believe when people say that is because I'm not really doing much to gain muscle. Okay, can I talk about what my workout is? All right, let me tell you. And I try to change my workout every 4 weeks. I try to increase it just by a little bit, even if it's by like 5 reps of something or 5 minutes added to something or 10 pounds added to something. I just try to go up a little bit more every like 4 weeks. So I've done that. But anyway, this is everything that I did today. Ow. Oh my God, everybody calm down. I'm okay. I have a pimple in my nose, inside of my nose. And when I do that, I hit it and oh my God, it hurts. For some reason that reminds me, I almost ran over a possum on the way home. I don't know why that reminds me. I think because on the way home, I had hit my nose at around the same time as I almost ran over the possum, but I screamed really loud and I swerved over. I didn't swerve over too crazy. It was dark, but also no one was coming. So I was totally in the other lane, but I didn't want to hit him. I thought it was like a little cat or something, but it was a possum. And I just, so sad. But anyway, where was I? Oh, my workouts. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm like so all over the place. I'm supposed to be eating my dinner, but I'm just like talking. All right, everybody. Y'all, this pimple on my nose hurts so bad. Okay. Today at the gym. Ooh, today's Wednesday. What did I do then? Oh, okay. All right, y'all. Everybody shut up. I did hip abductions, which is the machine that you sit in. And it has these things that go like here. And your legs go whoop. Whoop. You open your legs. It's freaky. It's kind of freaky. You open your legs a lot. Is it weird that I'm chewing and talking? Is that weird to y'all? Leave a comment down below if you think I'm a disgusting pig for talking while I'm eating. But I don't think that that's weird because as long as you can't see into my mouth and see my chewed food, I don't think that that's like gross or weird. Because I'm like, what do y'all do at like dinner with like people? You don't speak until you're fully done chewing and swallowing your food. No offense. Yo, that's a little dramatic. Like, let's relax. And also to mukbang. Do people talk during mukbangs? Or no? Yeah, I think so. I don't watch mukbangs. That's never been it's never been content that I've like consumed like that. I don't know. But I think during mukbangs, it's usually, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think it's usually like an ASMR thing. Like typically they'll like chew into the mic like weirdos. I don't know. And they'll like whisper. But anyway, so I did those. I did 30 reps of those. Not like back to back or nothing. I took breaks in between, but I did 30 reps of those at 140 pounds. And I do the 10 pound like resistance. I don't know if that actually does anything or not, but I keep it at 10 pounds. So I did 30 reps of 145 pound hip abductions. Okay. And then I call them on here because I keep track of all of my workouts every single day. Like I just copy and paste and like redo the same workout pretty much. So I did it for the whole month of September and October. But anyway, I call these the fake pull-ups. I don't know. I call them the fake pull-ups because it's the assisted dip, I think. Can I find a picture? Because it's like an assisted like dip / like chin up or something. Because you're doing pull-ups, but you have a pad under your knees that are helping you pull up. And that's why it's called assisted, because you're pulling up, but you also are being assisted by a certain amount of pounds. So here it is. This is not the Planet Fitness one, but this is exactly what I was doing. The picture is not going to load. I figured. I don't know if you'll be able to tell what this is. There we go. Yes. There we go. That's what I was doing, everybody. Sorry. That's what I was doing. I hope that you can't like hear me chewing and swallowing because that's like so gross. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said this was a mukbang and then I'm like, oh, I hope that you can't hear me chew my food that I'm eating right in front of you. What? So I did 20 reps of those with 130 pounds because I'm not the thing with the assistance for that machine is that it's kind of the opposite of all the other machines where typically the weight that you put on into the machine is how much you're like pulling or pushing or lifting or something. But with this machine, it's the opposite. So if you weigh 150 pounds and you put the machine at 50 pounds, you're going to be pulling up 100 pounds. Does that make sense? Because however much weight you put into the machine is how much weight you're being assisted with. So I weigh 200 pounds and I do it at 130 pounds. So I'm pulling up 70 pounds. So you just do the math. However much you weigh subtracted by how much weight you've put onto the machine is how much you're lifting. So yesterday I did it with 115, which was really, that was me pulling up 85 pounds. And I did it yesterday, but I really struggled. So today I went back to 130 because I can only do so much. I think that Monday and Tuesday I did it at 115, but today I couldn't. But I wanted to get to the 20 reps, but I was like, 115, I'm not making it. Like, I'm so sorry. And I have to listen to my body. So I do that. And then I get on the treadmill for 20 minutes and I do speed number 3. That's like a bit of a power walk for me. Not a bit. It pretty much is kind of a power walk. Speed 3 miles per hour at incline number 10. So it's like pretty steep. Definitely hurts my calves. The first time I did I started with like incline, probably like 5 or 6 maybe. But then I decided to go up from 5. I think I did start at 5, and then I went up from that to 9. And the first day that I did that, I thought I like literally ruined my calf muscle on my right leg because it hurt so bad. So yeah, so incline 10 is pretty steep in my opinion. I see people do like 15, which is like I think the highest that the treadmill goes at Planet Fitness, and I don't know how they do it. But I did that. And then I did the Stairmaster. Boo, I hate the Stairmaster. But I do kind of love the Stairmaster, so it's like a love-hate. I did the Stairmaster for 20 minutes at level 5, which is 52 steps per minute. So it's like almost 1 step every second, like almost. But don't be fooled. I do not do 20 full minutes. I do 10 minutes. And then I take a 1 minute break, sometimes like 2 or 3 minute break, depending on how I feel. And then I do another 10 minutes. So altogether I do 20, but I do take a break in between. And then I do the treadmill again to cool down. And this time I do it at speed 2.5, which is slower. And I do it at incline 7, which is lower. Okay. So that's my whole workout. I do an hour of cardio, 20-minute treadmill, 20-minute Stairmaster, 20-minute treadmill. And I just recently upped that because I used to do 30-minute treadmill, 15-minute Stairmaster, 15-minute treadmill. And at some point eventually, hopefully by like December, I want to be able to do 30-minute Stairmaster. 30-minute treadmill, 30-minute Stairmaster. I'm thinking. And also I'm wondering, should I switch that? Should I do the Stairmaster first? Because I know that, because I'm thinking about it, and like you're supposed to do cardio after your like workout, and I feel like the Stairmaster is more of a workout. Like, it's cardio. But I don't know. And I don't think it, like, matters necessarily, but I'm, like, hunched over so bad right now. Let me relax. But I have my elbows on my knees, so I don't know. Let me sit like that. So yeah, that's my whole workout reveal. Workout reveal. And I'm like, I get stressed about the whole not losing weight thing. Because I'm like, no offense, but I cannot go to the gym any more than I already do. Like, literally, I can't. Who has the time or the energy to go to the gym 5 days or 7 days a week? Like, that's sick, dude. That's literally sick. Are they going to be open on Halloween? I just thought about that. Because I was thinking about it, and, like, I'm sure that they're not going to be open on Christmas. I feel like that would make sense. But I've been really, like, worried about, like, I've been kind of anxious about not going. Like, if something were to ever come up. Because I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I pray to God that I never, like, within the next few months or something, I hope that I don't, like, get sick or something and, like, can't go. Because I'm very, like, I think I mentioned this in my last video, that it's either, for me, like, in almost every aspect of my life, it's either all or nothing. And, like, that sounds so dramatic, but I'm saying, like, if I don't go every single day, every single Monday through Friday, if I just, like, miss a day, I might as well not go at all. Like, if I can't go every day, then I might as well never go. Like, like, I just can't. I don't know. I'm, like, very weird about things like that. Like, I don't know. Because I just want to be able to go. Like, I want to keep, like, a streak going of, like, this is a daily thing for me. Because I've incorporated it into my routine. You know? And even on my days off. Because I'm off. During the week, I'm off every other Wednesday and every other Friday. So this Friday is Halloween and I'm going to be off. And I'm still going to go to the gym. As long as they're open. And I'm sure they will. They have Halloween decorations up. So I'm sure that they'll be open. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to have to, like, miss going to the gym on Christmas. Ugh. Whatever. I've like worked on Christmas for the past, like, 3 years. Or, like, I guess 2 years. What year is it? It's 2025. Okay, in 2023, I was waitressing. And I worked on Christmas. Because our boss made it to where literally every employee has to work on the big holidays like Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving, or else they lose their job. What? I just thought about how crazy that is, because there was literally a girl that was working there and was, like, related to the boss, like most of the people were, or, like, somehow, like, married into the family or something like that. And she was, like, out of town with family for the holidays, as people do. And she was not there to work on Christmas. And guess what? She literally lost her job. Is this insane? Like, am I tweaking? My waitressing career was something else. So I worked on Christmas, 2023. Then 2024 on Christmas, I was doing my current job. This time a year ago, I was a housekeeper. And I worked on Christmas, not because we had to or anything. Like I had to because I wasn't scheduled to be off. And I also didn't request to be off because this sounds like I'm going to say that I don't care about Christmas, but I do. I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong. I like Halloween, Christmas, like every holiday pretty much. But I understand that, like, other people need to go out and have time with their family. And plus, I was new at this time a year ago. I had just started my position in August of 2024. So September, October, November, December, really the beginning of August. So August, September, October, November, December. I just shot you guys a bird. Sorry. But I was new, so I figured, like, the senior people, like, you know, the people that had been there longer needed to have that off if they, like, requested it or whatever, because I'm sure that they've worked on, or not even I'm sure, like, I know that they've worked on Christmas prior to. So I figured I'll sacrifice myself. But luckily I was off, according to the schedule. I didn't request it off, but I was already off on Christmas Eve. So me and my grandparents did Christmas on Christmas Eve because the next morning I had to go to work, obviously. So, it happens. And I work on Christmas this year as well, and I didn't request it off because someone has to. You know what I mean? Like, the benefit for me is that we typically get like a free meal, and then we get time and a half, so we make overtime. So technically, if I wanted to, I could just work half of a day and I would still get the same amount of like pay. So, I almost dropped a chip. So it's like fine. I don't mind working on the holidays. Like I said, somebody has to do it. Because I'm a housekeeper. I'm an essential worker. Not to like do too much, but during like a hurricane or like a snowstorm or any type of natural disaster situation or something that could cause people to like not have power or have to evacuate or something like that, a group of housekeepers has to spend the night at the hospital. So we got snowed in recently, not recently, almost a year ago in January of this year. Dang. That's when it snowed for real? Oh my God. That's interesting. Okay. So it snowed us in, and the people that were on the team to stay at the hospital were stuck there for like 4 days. Ow! Oh my God. My nose again. Or it was like 3 nights and 1 day and 4 days. So yeah, they were stuck at the hospital overnight because, it's one of those things that the people that the hospital can't operate without these certain people. So they have to stay. Like, there was obviously other employees that stayed too, like the nurses and the doctors, stuff like that. Because these people, not only are people coming in and out of the hospital, like the people that are in the med surge department, like, they just got out of surgery, so they can't like leave. Not only is there that, there's also a nursing home. That's where I work. And those people live there. And there's also a team. There's like an A, B, and C team. So the A team would be like, if it were to be like a hurricane type of situation and we had to evacuate, the A team would they would like evacuate with like the residents of the nursing home and like with the patients of like the med surge department and stuff like that. Anybody that has to like leave and evacuate, those people would go with them. So like for me, if I was on the A team and we had to evacuate, I would go with the nursing home residents. So then the B team is like, you spend the night at the hospital, you stay, you hunker down, even if people evacuate, you stay. And then the C team is like the relief, quote unquote, and they would come in to relieve everybody that would be, like we came in at like a random time, because during the snowstorm, I was on the C team, and it was like, I came in at like the middle of like a typical work day when the conditions started getting better and the roads were like able to be driven on. And I came in to relieve the people that had stayed for 3 nights and 4 days, like I was saying. So that's how a hospital works, if anyone was wondering. I don't know. I was going to say, I can't say too much about a hospital. I don't want to get in trouble for like a HIPAA violation or something. But I saw this video on TikTok of this girl, like, she was a nurse, and she was doing her med pass, and she was live streaming. Like, her badge was showing, the hospital itself was showing, she was showing residents' faces, she was saying their names first and last, she was saying their medication. Oh my God, she lost her job so fast. That's crazy. Like, you can't even, you're not even allowed to like post something from the hospital, like if you're in there. Like, my coworker got in trouble one time for like posting a video of somebody in the nursing home. like, the nursing home residents weren't facing the camera, but the issue was like, oh, what if there was like a document or something that was like confidential and it showed in the video and somebody got access to it, like, you know what I mean, like that. So it's very very sketchy to work in it. Not sketchy, that's not the right word. Very risque to work in a hospital. You gotta be like secretive for real. I can't even know stuff about, I'm just a housekeeper, so like I don't really poke my nose in anybody's business like that. But I'm like, there's things that I'm not even like allowed to know. There was one time, I think I can say this, statute of limitations. This happened a few months ago. But also, this was weird. Let me rant about this. So I'm a housekeeper. I clean up, I wipe down surfaces, I sweep, I mop, I dust, I spray air freshener, I take out trash. You know what I'm saying? I do all that good stuff. I go into the residents' rooms. Ooh. I just remembered that I forgot to do something today at my job. It's like not that, oh my God, it's not that big of a deal, but it's whatever. But anyway, so I do all of that at my job. Cool. And there was one time where these upper women who work in my area, but not in my department, they work in the nursing home, but they're like the sort of, I don't know what to call them, like the bosses of the nursing home, but it's like, there's so many people that I consider the boss, because it's like, there's so many people that are like head of this and head of that in the nursing home. So it's like, whatever, but they're above me. Okay. They come in and I'm just kind of standing there and they start putting on PPE, like personal protective equipment. What? They start putting PPE on. PPE. I like that. They start putting that shit on. And they go into a room. Like, I'm talking covered head to toe. Like, bonnets on their head. The little bag things. The little bonnets that go on your shoes. The little gown. The gloves. They're covered. Like, you know, just standard PPE. Like a mask, I'm pretty sure. They put that on and then they go into a room that I've already been in. I have been in there. Here's my issue. I was in that room, like, at least, I don't know, like less than an hour before they were going in there. And I didn't wear PPE because I was not told that I was supposed to. And like, typically, if it's like an isolation room, which would just be like someone has COVID, they have anything contagious, the flu, COVID, RSV, just anything like upper respiratory things, just anything that could be contagious. There's a sign that goes on that door, and you can tell when we have like a COVID outbreak or the flu or something, because you'll walk down a hallway and it's just like sign. So like every room you pass is an isolation room. So in those rooms that have the sign on the door, you have to put on your PPE before you go in the room. The door is to stay closed. You are not supposed to, like, you know what I mean? Like that's just the procedure. Like, duh, it's a contagious room. So there's no sign on the door. So they go in there. And I don't know what they're doing. I don't remember what I say. Oh, I think that they asked me if I had already cleaned that room. And I was like, yes, I have been in there. Why? And they wouldn't tell me anything. They were like, don't worry about it. Well, don't worry about it. And I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about it? What do you literally mean don't worry about it? Oh my God. First of all, I work here. Second of all, I've been in that room already. What do you mean I can't know what's going on? If the resident in there has like the flu or COVID or something, can I know about that? Hi, hello, can I know? Can I know I've been in there? What? Turns out, and like, I haven't said anybody's name or nothing. Y'all don't even know where I work for real. Y'all don't have no proof of my job. But so this can't be a HIPAA violation, I don't think. I don't know. Imagine I lose my job for this. I get like literally 10 views on a video. Imagine this one goes viral. That would be insane. They were looking for bed bugs. And I was like, okay, no, that's cool. Like, I understand these things happen. This is a hospital. I mean, like, I don't think, my thing is that I don't think that would give, in my head, I don't think that would give our nursing home like a bad rep, in my opinion, because these things happen. Because you have to understand that these residents, they used to live somewhere. They weren't just born in the nursing home. They come from their own house or their children's houses or something. and then they live. So, and they bring their things with them. They bring their clothes. They bring their belongings, their shoes, their everything. They bring their stuff with them because they are literally moving in. So if someone were to bring in bed bugs, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it would make sense where they come from, because it's like, sometimes people have bed bugs. I'm not judging, but my issue is, why not tell somebody? Why not tell me? I understand wanting to keep it hush hush, but if you wanted to tell me because I've already been in the room, just come to me and say, hey, don't say too much, zip. And I would have zipped, obviously, because I don't care that much. Like, what am I going to do? Like, report it to the police? Like, what? But I'm like, just tell me to zip my lips and tell me what you're doing in there, because I'm like, what if it's something I'm like crazy allergic to? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need to know where that came from. I need to know what I am like at risk of getting or whatever. I literally work here, and they wanted to like leave me out of the loop. And it took me asking like literally 3 different people over and over. Like, I had to go around pretty much begging people. I was like, can somebody tell me? I think I literally said that to I said that to the nurse. I was like, can somebody tell me what's going on? Because I'm like, if all of you can know, but the housekeeper can't, and it's like something that's not contagious, but something that like I could get and I could like take home with me. I need to know that, brother. I need to know that. Because I'm like, what if I have like a compromised immune system and you just sent me into a room that had like RSV? And what if I have like a collapsed lung and I get RSV or something? Can I know these things? So that like really irritated me, because I don't know. I don't like the whole like secretive vibe of it, because I'm like, and I do understand too that with the whole bed bugs thing, if it were to be a thing that we had bed bugs in our nursing home, it would be like completely shut down. I understand. Whatever. But that just really irritated me, y'all. Like, I can't. But, and it also turns out there were no bed bugs. It was fine. There was literally 0 bed bugs and nothing to worry about. No need for PPE. Nobody even, I think that somebody saw something that they thought was a bed bug and it wasn't. So obviously they did the right thing looking for them and stuff like that, but it was not a fucking bed bug. Like, they're fine. But yeah. And that's like happened before. There was like a lice like breakout somewhere one time, and I think it was like somebody came into the ER with lice, and it's like, I mean, these things happen. Like, it's the ER. Like, people come in with COVID, RSV, the flu, lice, anything contagious, like bronchitis. I don't even know if is that contagious? I think it is. Like pneumonia. I don't think that's contagious. There's no way. Is it? I don't know. I don't know anything, but it makes sense. I remember me and my coworker, we covered our heads when we found out there was a lice breakout in the ER, because we were like, what the freak? It's crazy. But understandable. Have you guys ever had lice? I've had lice. I think I had lice twice when I was really, really little. Really, really little. Like 4 or 5 years old. And I'm pretty sure... No, I don't think I ever put like mayonnaise or anything in my hair. I think that we just used like a lice comb, and I think they died eventually. I don't know. Something weird. I don't remember. It is weird how there's like things like that happen. Thank the good Lord I have not had lice recently. It's literally been over 10 years. I don't know why I'm acting like it's been closer to 15 years since I've had lice. So I think I'm good. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, next year, I just turned 19 and here I go being annoying. Next year I turn 20. Ooh. And also next year I'm going to be in the military. Ooh. Like, isn't that fire? I'm so excited. But I thought about it, and I'm like, if I can't even do 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, I have to lock in. What if I do like, what's that thing called? 75 hard? What if I do that? What if I try that? I'll try that in the new year. I have thought about that, because it's like kind of funny. Or not like funny, but it would be interesting to do, like, for the bit, you know what I'm saying? I'd commit to the bit and just do 75 hard for some reason. But I also, okay, so I'm thinking I might quit drinking caffeine, and like, not completely. Like, okay, I drink like Red Bull all the time. I drink coffee every morning at work because we get it for free, and of course I'm going to take advantage of that. I drink that, and then in the afternoons, typically I'll get a Red Bull, and I'm the type to drink multiple energy drinks a day. And I'm not saying that it's like negatively impacting my health. Like, I guess it technically is, but I don't really care. So, but it's like, I kind of want to stop. Like, I kind of just want to stop. It'll save me some money. Little, maybe $20 a week. Cool. That's gas money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll save me some money, but I think I just kind of want to stop, or like at least take like a break. Because I remember after the very end of my junior year of high school, I quit. And I didn't even quit cold turkey. I kind of weaned myself off. But I do remember one day, it was like a day, because I usually would like drink a Monster for breakfast. In high school, that was just like a thing, I guess. I would drink a Monster for breakfast, and then I don't know. I'm trying to think of what my eating habits were like, but my junior year was a time where I didn't eat much at all. But yeah, I would drink like a Monster or a Red Bull for breakfast. And I also, my junior year, went through a big phase of 5-hour energies. Who let me do that? My grandparents should have took me out back and shot me for drinking those things. Oh my God. Because it's like 250 milligrams. I would get like the extra, like the boosted 5-hour energy. As if it could get any more insane than a tiny little shot with like 250 milligrams of caffeine. How did my heart not explode? I'm not even kidding. Like, this is so annoying. I do not want to say this. But like, caffeine is not going to kill me, y'all. I say that and my heart explodes literally tomorrow. But no, like seriously. Because I've been drinking caffeine. Okay, story time. This is such a long video. It's going to be an hour just like my other one. Because I love to talk. My first time ever drinking a Red Bull was my 8th grade year. 2000. Ooh. You know what? I think it was like March. Because, if I'm remembering this correctly, I want to say that it was right before quarantine. So it was like February, March of 2020 was the first time that I ever had a Red Bull. And then I went through a phase where every time I would like leave the house, I would get like a big 20-ounce Red Bull, like a big 20-ounce Red Bull. And that would like last me all day. Of course, because they're like literally this tall. And I'm not exaggerating. But I would drink one of those. And then it got to a point where it was kind of became an everyday thing at some point, because when I went to the store, I would start buying the packs, like the boxes. And then I went through a phase where I was drinking, and I've never really been a Monster fan. There's something in my eye, but I've never really been into Monster. Like, I like them. There's some of them I'll drink. I really like the pink one. Like, it's like I think it's called like Ultra Strawberry Dream or something crazy like that. That one's really good. Then there's like a blue one that's good. All of the zero sugar ones that I've had have been good, except for the like blue and orange looking can, if I'm not mistaken. That one tastes like vegetables. It literally tastes like celery. I don't know if that's just me. But anyway, so I would drink that, and then I went through a phase where I was drinking the Bang energy drinks, which, if I'm not mistaken, 300 milligrams of caffeine. Like, literally, I think that I'm like, what? What? So, I was drinking a lot of caffeine, and it didn't do much for me. It kind of did, but it more just kept me awake, because during quarantine, I was like staying up all night and sleeping all day. So if I were to wake up in the morning, like if I were to wake up before 2 p.m., which was literally rare, I would like drink one of those like a Bang or something, and like, I don't know. But anyway, that was a phase I went through. Cool. And then I don't know when. I'm trying to think of like what happened like the rest of quarantine, I guess, but I don't really know. It's all kind of a blur because it sucked so bad. But I see people say that they enjoyed quarantine, like genuinely. They're like, yeah, I loved when the whole world was shut down. And I guess those are people that are like antisocial and very like introverted. So they liked not having to do social interaction. But I would argue that the lack of social interaction just ruined my life. I hated it. And it's also, I was 13 when it started. So it's like kind of somewhat of an impressionable time. Like, it's not like I was 8 years old, but I mean, I was younger, obviously. It was like 5 years ago. Oh my God. It was like 6 years ago almost. Sorry. I was 13 almost. Oh my God, I was 13 6 years ago. That's so sick. I'm sorry for those noises. Anyway, so yeah, caffeine addiction got worse. By the time I was in like high school, I was drinking a Red Bull every day. And then at some point during my ED days, get into that. I switched from the regular Red Bull, because I usually just drink the regular or the blueberry. I'm not big into the whole Red Bull flavors. I like the plain, regular, original Red Bull. I don't care. I don't care that it tastes like battery acid. I don't care if it tastes like piss. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. I like it. Okay. Red Bull Defender till I die. So, and then at some point when I started my dieting, #dieting, I started with the sugar-free Red Bulls, and I didn't really care for it too much at first, but I got like accustomed to it, and now I love a sugar-free Red Bull. I have like 4. I probably have like 6 in the fridge right now. But anyway, so now I drink a nice little sugar-free Red Bull, and I'm big into caffeine. So anyway, when I decided to quit randomly, the end of my junior year, which I don't know what made me want to do this. I just I don't know. I had a job at the time, but I was literally making $8 an hour. What? That's basically slavery. $8 an hour? Crazy. And then I was working like 20 hours a week because it was like a part-time, like after school job. It was my first ever job. I don't want to get too much into it, but maybe I thought I wanted to save money or something for over the summer. I knew I was saving up for a phone at that point, wasn't I? Yeah, I was saving up for a phone. Not this one. I have an iPhone 16. Not to brag. That's actually not really a flex, because I know that a lot of people don't like iPhone for valid reasons that I will not get into, but I was unaware of these things before buying it. And plus, they make it so easy for me to trade in my old phone. I got my first ever iPhone when I was 13. No. Was I 12? I was 12. Right? I think I was 12. Yeah, I was totally 12 because it was like April of 2019. I was 12 years old when I got my first ever iPhone. It was an iPhone 6S, and that was an upgrade because I had an iPod Touch way back in the day when I was like 9. And then a few years later, so I eventually, I remember this is so funny. It's like super random, but I did a handstand outside on the concrete with my tiny little iPod Touch in my pocket. And it fell out because I'm stupid. It fell out of my pocket, cracked the screen. Cool. So I did that. And then I ended up getting a phone, like a for real phone, and it was an Android. And then that one, I don't know why I traded in, but I decided at some point a year or two later got a new phone, also an Android. And I remember this was the type that had your fingerprint scanner like on the back of the phone, and it was also the button that you use to turn it on. So to get into my phone, I could just go like that. It was like super convenient. But anyway, it's similar to like a home button on like the older iPhones. But I got that. Okay, I'm trying to think. Got the second Android. And then from the second Android, I got my first ever iPhone. I was so hyped. Loved it. Super happy. That was that. And then from the iPhone 6 that I got in 2019, I went to an iPhone 11 in 2020. Really? Yeah, because I had the phone for like April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, so I had the phone for a year and a half. I had the 6 for a year and a half, and then I moved up to the 11. And then I saved up my own money because at this point, it was when I was like 16 and got my first job. In like 2023. I saved up my own money. It took me forever because, like I said, I was making $8 an hour. But I saved up my own moolah to get an iPhone 14. But it was also like really convenient because they do like a trade-in value, and I always take care of my phones, so I have really good trade-in value. So it was like I only had to pay like $200 instead of like $800 because I traded in my 11. So I got a 14, and then from then on, my iPhone 14, I wasn't even like really ready to trade it in, but it like broke essentially. I couldn't get calls, I couldn't get like messages, nothing was working. It was like having a brick unless I was connected to the internet. But So I had to get a new phone. I took it to like the Geek Squad, I think, is like at Best Buy. I took it to them and they were like, yeah, we can look at it. We can like maybe tell you what's wrong with it, but it's going to cost you $500. I was like, give me my phone back. I'm going to get a new one. What? Why would I pay you $500 to look at it? And then to maybe not even be able to tell me what's wrong with it, nor be able to fix it? Give me my phone back. I'm going to get a new phone. So I took it literally. I remember I like made an appointment with the people and I was like, okay, I'll come back, ? And I remember I made the appointment and then I never showed up to the appointment that I had like a week later. I did not go. Because who would do that? So I ended up just getting a new one. And then I also traded in the 14. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I got this phone like basically for free. It added like $2 because my grandpa pays my phone bill. Shout out to that. Very thankful for that. I feel like every time I say something like that, it gives like I'm like entitled or something. I feel like it gives like, yeah, my parents bought me and like my first car, they paid it off and like I don't even have to put gas in it. Like they give me gas money and I'm like 20 years old. Like I feel like that just gives that, but it's like, no, like that's the only thing. That's literally the only thing. I pay for everything. Like I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week, so let's relax. But I just hate I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to keep myself humble because I grew up poor. Hold on. Everybody relax. I know what it's like to be POOR. So yeah. But like I said, very thankful for that. But my grandpa pays for my phone bill. Because it's like we're on the same line. Like we're on the same bill. So it's like he pays for that. He's always done that because he bought me the iPod Touch. So he's always just been my phone guy for like whatever. So it only added like $2 to his bill. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. Don't worry about it. Because I was going to pay him. I had like saved up. I was planning on it. But anyway, that's not the point. Like I was saying, I kind of hate the whole like iPhone vibe because like I'm saying I like having an iPhone, but I hate knowing the negative parts of having an iPhone. And I'm like, I'm really sorry guys, but I didn't know these things before getting one. So yeah, and I don't know where this went. This conversation, I think this part of the conversation, and I don't know why I'm calling it a conversation because I'm talking to just myself, but this video, I was saying something about like my caffeine addiction, my junior year. Oh, okay. I think that's where it was. My junior year, I stopped drinking caffeine, and I remember the day, it was like the last day of school or the second last day of school. I had the worst headache imaginable because if y'all literally know, if anyone else has a caffeine addiction, a caffeine withdrawal headache, I could have just died. I'm like, this is the closest I've ever been to literally die. I'm this close to being dead. Like, a caffeine withdrawal headache is so sickening. Oh my God. And it's crazy. And like half the time, like ibuprofen doesn't do anything. Like it kind of does, but you've got to pop 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. A caffeine withdrawal headache is insane. So, but I did power through because I'm strong and tough and really cool. And I powered through and I didn't drink caffeine all summer after my junior year. And I say all summer, 2 months. I just went caffeine free for 2 months. And then the beginning of my senior year started. And while I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm drinking a coffee. What? And I remember that I'm even like, you can literally find it on my TikTok that I'm doing a get ready with me for my first day of school. Eek. And it was me getting ready for the first day of my senior year. And I said in the get ready with me that I made, I said, I stopped drinking caffeine over the summer. And 2 seconds later, I'm opening my coffee for me to drink with my face. And then, so it's like, I didn't stop drinking caffeine. I'm a liar. All I do is lie. Like, I don't know. But it was really funny because I caught myself like way after having said that. And I was like, I didn't even stop drinking caffeine. I did for 2 months, but then I got right back into it. And I don't think that's like a bad thing, but then of course I got back into my habits. But it's like, to be fair, I was in theater. I was very busy. I worked. I drank a lot. And then I tried again at some point to stop with caffeine. But I tried to stop while I was working at Huddle House. And I was waitressing. That was back in my waitressing days, my senior year. It was like, I would get home at like 11:30 at night. and go to school the next day. And I thought I was going to be okay without caffeine. Okay, bye. Because I do think that, like, while I say that caffeine doesn't do much for me, it does enough to make me definitely miss it if I'm really tired. It doesn't always give me a boost of energy, but if I chug a Red Bull fast enough, I'll get a bit of a boost of energy if I'm lucky. But, Jesus. But I don't know. That's like, there's a lot there. But I kind of want to stop drinking caffeine, or at least take a break, or it's like a tolerance break that people do when they smoke weed or something. But I'm thinking, like, obviously I'm going to allow myself to have like some caffeine. I'm still going to like drink sodas. And then I'm also going to like I'm thinking occasionally, maybe once or twice a month, get me a little, like, you know, maybe a nice coffee or a little tiny little Red Bull or something. You know, I'm not going to completely deprive myself, but I'm thinking I might do it just to save some money, and also to kind of give my body a break, because that's like a lot of caffeine. But they do take away headaches. Like, caffeine really does help with like a headache. So even if it's not a caffeine headache, it will typically help the pain go away. But anyway, yeah, I kind of want to keep talking for this next 4 minutes so that I can actually have an hour-long video. But I don't really know what to say. One of my favorite residents in the nursing home got taken away. That sounds horrible, but they sent her to some place that I'm not sure of. And she'll be back, I'm pretty sure. But she's one of the more like hyper and very, very active residents, and also very moody. So she'll like get mad at you real quick if you try to tell her to like stop pulling the fire alarm, and if you try to tell her to stop peeing into the trash cans. And it's like, sometimes I love my job because I do love the nursing home residents that I work with, but sometimes it's like, okay, I'm not kidding, there have been times where, like, I don't typically get overwhelmed. Like, I get overwhelmed, but I don't typically like make that like a point. Like, I'm not saying that people make it a big deal. Like, obviously sometimes you do if you get to the point where like you have to like leave the room. But I've done that before. Like I don't typically do that. They're like, I'll get overwhelmed, but I typically just keep it to myself. Like, I just kind of shut up, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, I have to leave this party because I'm overwhelmed. Because it's like, no, I'll just go hide in the bathroom for a few minutes. I'll recharge, and then I'll come back. I'll be fine. You know what I mean? I try not to like let that interfere with like myself and what I'm doing, or other people and what they're doing, I guess, if that makes sense. But I got so overwhelmed one day because every resident was just so active, so hyper, and everybody was making these noises and like yelling and crying. And it's like, because like, for reference, I think I've mentioned this a billion times before, and I probably said it, I think I said it earlier, because I work in a nursing home, but I work in the dementia unit of a nursing home. And so they're in like the unit that's like blocked off from the rest of the nursing home so that they can't get out. Like, that sounds horrible, but it's true, because their dementia is like really like bad off, like really severe. And everybody, like, some of the residents, they just like sob really loudly. It's like really sad. I should probably do a whole video about my job, but it's like very, very sad sometimes. And there was like, everybody was just yelling and like screaming and crying and like asking me to do things for them. And then I have residents coming up to me being like, where am I? Can you take me home? I need to find my car. And they're like crying because they can't go home. And I'm like, can everyone leave me alone? Oh my God, I literally had to like leave because it was so like loud. Because I have my AirPod in all the time at work. And I'm like listening to either music or a podcast. It's typically podcasts. I think I listen to podcasts more than anything as of like the past year or so. But I had an AirPod in, so I'm like trying to listen to my podcast, but I just can't stop hearing this noise, like just so much of it from every resident. And then I just had to leave the room, and I had to sit down and just like literally relax, because I'm like, I love y'all so bad, but everybody shut up. Like, I don't know what it was that day. It was crazy. But it gets like that sometimes. It gets like real. Oof. One of the residents today was cussing everybody out. She was calling people bitches, whores, sluts, everything. She was mad. She was real mad. She was cussing everybody. So she called one of the nurses a dirty bitch. She called one of the other nurses a whore. Like, I'm not kidding. It gets crazy, crazy. She does always like me. She is always nice to me. So I don't know why, but I'm just really special. When she'll be actively cussing somebody out, but then when she sees me, she's like, hey baby. And I'm like, hi, like, I love you, girl. Don't call me a bitch though. Let's relax. But yeah, I love my job sometimes. And I do think that, like, I really should make a video about my job, like, or about the residents, I guess, because I have so many stories that I could tell. But I think that it's, like, it's really educational. For me, that's kind of the way that I see it, because I've learned so much about dementia and Alzheimer's just from having this job. And it's like, I'm not even a nurse. I'm a housekeeper. I just clean up. I'm just here to clean up. But anyway, it's been an hour. Let me stop talking because I'm, like, super annoying. Bye, guys.